If you're someone that is bogged down by the chaos around you or is always questioning what next, what is the purpose of my life, and am I doing enough, and you have all these questions and going through midlife crisis, then this is the book for you. Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. My name is Mehek. I hope you guys are all fine, and like always, I also hope that you guys are reading. Back with the book of the week, Kokoro. Interesting word, I'll tell you what it means. It's by Beth Kempton. Beth is a specialist in Japan and Japanese. She's the famous author of Wabi Sabi, that basically, the book was really famous. It taught people how to embrace imperfection in life and how that is beautiful. Imperfection is beautiful. Now, a little bit about the author. When she was a teenager, she had this career plan for her, in economics and etc. But at that time, she felt a pull towards Japan. She packs her bag and goes for a year to Japan. It's an unexplained pull that she felt. And right now, cut to the present moment, she's in her mid-40s. She's going through a midlife crisis. She's recently lost her best friend to cancer, and so she's dealing with a lot of grief. And she can also see her organized life rumbling beneath the surface. And that's when again she feels the pull to return to Japan. However, this time it is different. This time she takes a journey to these three sacred mountains, and these three sacred mountains are actually a pilgrimage site in Japan, and it's called Dewa Sanzan. It comprises of three sacred mountains, and each of these mountains are packed with a lot of wisdom. Now, coming to Kokoro, what is Kokoro? Kokoro basically means intelligent heart. Now, there are a lot of definitions in the book, but this one is my favorite. It means intelligent heart. It means the inner wisdom that is untainted with societal pressures and opinions and expectations. I think it also means, it's not mentioned in the book, but I also derived that Kokoro is also your gut feeling, what you really feel, more like your EQ, the compassion, or how you look at world. It's also, there's one word that the author has used, the feeling mind. So that is what Kokoro means. Now, in this book, the author has basically answered the question, how do you awaken your Kokoro? It's all nice that, okay, the Kokoro means intelligent heart, but what if my heart is not intelligent? It's dumb. It doesn't understand things. How do I awaken my Kokoro? So the author has, listed down or taken us through these 12 principles rooted in Japanese wisdom, and how following these 12 principles we can lead a life which is fulfilling and makes us happy. Now, these 12 principles are divided into three parts, and these three parts, like I said before, are dedicated to these three sacred mountains. So as the author takes journey to each of these three mountains, she imparts these principles to us. Now, what are these three mountains? What are they called, and what do they represent? The first mountain is called Haguro-san. This is a mountain of the present and the earthly desires. So when the author takes the journey to this mountain, she basically, and while the author is, taking journey towards these three mountains, she comes across various philosophers, poets, taxi drivers, coffee shop owners, the mother nature, of course, and the spirits that inhabits this land and mountains. And all of these come together and, share, I would say, pearls of wisdom with Beth, which she's in turn sharing with us. So coming back to part one of the mountain, which was dedicated to present and earthly desires. So here, when she takes the tour of this mountain, she is, exposed to the wisdom on how to live our life, with mindfulness, be present in every moment, invite stillness in our life. And most essentially the takeaway from the first part one was that how it's important for us to constantly self-reflect on our life, just see how the days and the years and the months going by. If anything is wrong or if anything is amiss, what you can do to correct that. So basically self-reflect. The second part is, when the author climbs to the mountain Gassan, which is the mountain of death and the past. Now, interesting thing about, so I'll read out this line, what the author shares, that when we face up our own mortality and know that, death is permanent, death is going to come to each one of us, that's when we truly, treasure our lives, we start treasuring every moment, every individual that we meet, every encounter that we have. So it's important to try and accept your mortality. All of us are going to die one day. So once we believe that fact, we can start making the most of our days. So again, the takeaway message in this chapter was live a life without any regrets, which is very important. The author says, he's compared the regret to a poison. So make sure that you do not live your life consumed by this poison. Of course, there's also a message around not giving up in the face of challenges, and truly treasuring each life that you come across and living your every day to the fullest. And finally, part 3, the author takes the journey to the last sacred mountain, which is the Yudono, which is the mountain of rebirth and the future. Here, basically, the author has shared how do we, live our life, the remaining days that we have, how do we truly live it. And here she has imparted lessons, of course, my favorite, on gratitude, but there's also a lesson on contentment and slowing down. I think the slowing down was my favorite, where the author has spoken about how it's important to slow down and live an engaged life. Often slowing down is looked upon as something which is not so cool, or something that's not so ambitious, but it is important to slow down, observe things around you, listen to people, and live an engaged life. She's also spoken about nourishment, how we nourish our body. So she's saying that what we consume also affects our Kokoro in return. How we eat, what we eat impacts our mood and how we feel and what we say. So that in turn also reflects in our Kokoro, which is our inner wisdom and intelligent heart. So be conscious of what you're feeding to your body and how you're nourishing not just your body but your mind. So when I'm saying consuming, it need not necessarily mean the food, but what you're also watching. So be mindful of that. So yeah, these are short summary of the 12 principles that the author has shared while she tours these 3 sacred mountains. I think personally for me, the two takeaway themes, or the message that the author is really trying to tell, is live a life where you slow down once in a while, and or I would say slow down often and live a life which is more engaged, which is more mindful, and a life where you invite contentment. That is very important. So yeah, this is what the book is majorly about. I think I came across a quote which was my absolute favorite in this book. It said that the how we live our life is the prayer. So the definition of prayer was given. Prayer is nothing but how we live our life. And I think that was a beautiful definition that I came across. Overall, I would say the book has many takeaways for you that you can pick up. For me, it was a little confusing because the author was jumping in past and present. Could be because I was a little distracted when I was reading this book. So if you're someone who is not focused, you might not enjoy this book or make the most of it. It's important that you are fully present in order to make the most of this book. The author has also given exercises in each of the 3 chapters for you to, very hands-on exercises, for you to basically work with your Kokoro and awaken your Kokoro. So yeah, that was all on this book. I am going to see you guys next week with another title. Till then, take care, bye bye, and like always, please keep reading.